Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others make it happen. Wise words from the great Michael Jordan. And we can still apply the same thing here when we talk about having enough, financially speaking, or dealing with the state of not having enough in our finances. Hey, this is Fabio, and today I'm going to dive into practical steps on how we can feel financially secure and avoid financial scarcity. So by the end of this video, you'll know how to take control of your emotional side and feel more secure. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Press the like button and leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to actually share with someone you think it would be useful, this video. Well, I guess the first question I ask myself is, how can I define financial security? Is it having a net worth of X millions? Is it having a house paid for? Or is it just having the freedom of doing whatever you want to do in your life? At the same time, maybe what's financial scarcity? Is it lacking a specific amount for our lifestyle? Is it being stuck in a position where you feel hopeless, you don't actually want to do the thing you do? Or is it just that you're so in bed with so much debt you can't actually physically breathe and pay for food? And well, I think this is actually a very personal perspective towards each of us. And it really depends on how you see your life. But here's my perspective. Back in 2018, for the first time in my life, we decided to build our home here in Mauritius. And after finishing this brand new home, I overbuilt, I owed people some money, and I couldn't keep up with my bills. To add that, we just had a newborn, and things were just out of control in my life. And I still remember speaking to my mom one night, telling her, like, I can't keep up with this. And we probably have to leave this brand new house that I just built. And it was really a very anxious time in my life, which I actually kept only for myself. I didn't really share it with my wife, which was not such a great idea in the end of the day. I should have probably shared it with my wife. In the end, we put the house to rent, but I had to downsize my life quite drastically, to the point that we were living in a very old house, part of my wife's family, and it was on the beach, yes, but people just come there for the weekends, but day-to-day life, it would be more difficult to be there. So looking back today, I would have probably managed to live this dream at the time, no longer a dream today, being in this new house, if I made my homework. And what I mean by my homework is a budget. Now, I was doing somewhat a budget. I knew what was coming in most of the times, not what was coming out particularly, or very intentional about it. So when it comes to a budget gives you control over feeling and understanding where that sense of scarcity or sense of security, because once you understand your patterns, it takes a while, but once you understand your patterns, understand what you buy, you tend to buy the same thing every month, whether it's to eat, whether it's to go out, whether it's to do some sort of activity. And once you understand what actually how much that would cost versus how much you earn, this tool is where you can find the leaks and create something with a great intention. That in my case, if I did that and I said, okay, we don't need this for the time being until I maybe raise my income, I would probably still be living there. Happily or not, today I feel that was the right decision, because it's giving us an extra income that we can use for certain things, especially for our life. So it has been a blessing getting out of the house. Again, we have 2 young children, and the house would be too big for us. So having control over emotions through a budget. And I've talked about the budget before. And I think it is a tool that is not used enough, especially by the younger generation, especially by the people that just started working, and even people that have been working for a while, but they just keep going on with their lives. It's buying meaningless things as opposed to being intentional about creating a life that is more for for the future. The second point is we also tend to feel scarce because maybe there is actually not enough in our bank accounts. If something comes up, we don't have the cash. We go, oh crap, how am I going to pay for this? Some people have access to credit, some people don't have access to credit. In Mauritius, more difficult for low pay. You can probably still have access, but you won't have access to a credit card as quickly as you could have in America or in Europe or maybe in Asia. So if you didn't have, let's say, a pool of funds that you can use in emergency case, you're going to use credit, then you're going to have a debt. And then that debt, it's just going to go spiral, because the more emergencies you'll have, the more you're going to use, the more you're going to spend, and the more in debt you will be. And one day you're going to wake up, like me, thinking, I don't have any money. And so what to do? Well, what to do is stop using credit cards for emergencies. Secondly, build an emergency fund. And yes, it's the normal thing that a lot of people advise, and this will do miracles in your life, because it is something that you can, in some cases, build quite quickly, even if it's a first stage, maybe the equivalent of a salary, maybe the equivalent of 1/4 of a salary, maybe the equivalent of half a salary to start with, just to get things out of the door, so that if you have to go to the doctor, or you have to buy things for school for your kids, or your car breaks down, it's there. I can pay the repair, and I still suffer, because what I tend to do is put the emergency funds into different accounts, so I don't actually see them. And when something comes up, something came up. How am I going to pay for this? I've got some funds there. The other third point that I probably have is we tend to not predict what costs come up in our financial lives, in our daily lives. And so let's say that within your budget, if we try to predict that we eventually need to take the car to the mechanic to do some sort of maintenance, or you know that you have to, in 6 months' time, pay again for school or pay again for a specific yearly expense, we can start today putting some money aside, and just put some money aside. Feeling scarce is an emotion, so if you actually start allocating this portion, even if it was $10, $20, $30, over time that will build up and keep building up. And if you can still have a security net above your emergency fund. And what happens is that spiritually, in our conscience, we just simply relax. Because now things are more under control. We are able to at least do things that we can control. Something comes up, or something will come up, you know that you have already a budget, you have an emergency fund, and you already put money aside for things that are coming up. And like that, my friends, you can live a life that is maybe less scarce. You've done the work, you're doing the work in terms of arranging, organizing your financial life, and life is good. You can now go on holidays without thinking about it. You can now buy a nice meal, go out, spend money in things that are actually worth your time, because you put your money where it is supposed to go, as opposed to just like spend by need. You know, go here, go there. I'll think about it next week. I'll think about it next year. It's 10 years time. 10 years has passed. Maybe 10 years ago, I should have put some money for my retirement. You didn't. Okay, well, how am I going to do this? Just because it's you only live once, right? And this is where the scarcity mindset comes in. But hey, you always have today, and you always have tomorrow. You can start today, you can start tomorrow. If you fail today, there's always tomorrow, and we keep going. So that's it. I hope this was enlightening. I hope this was maybe more of a motivational as well, a video as well. And just remember, use these effective tools for your own advantage, like having a budget that is optimized, emergency funds, and a sinking fund to predict what will come, or to try to predict. Once you've done all that, spiritually, mentally, physically, life is good. simply because you've got things under control. So I hope you found these tips useful. I hope you've learned something today. Share your thoughts in the comments. And in the next video, we are actually going to talk about debt. And I hope that will be also an enlightening part of things, how we can manage debt for sure. So thank you so much for investing your time. My name is Fabio Boulle. I've been working in financial markets for 15 years now, and I am a financial coach. So don't forget to subscribe, put a like on this video, and share it with someone, WhatsApp, social media, whichever it is you use. All right, thank you, and bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Please like and subscribe to the channel so that we can reach more of the algorithm, the almighty algorithm. And if you really enjoy the content, you can look at the next video available. It should be somewhere here. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you soon.